What is this? What's going on? I can't see anything. What have you done, Spinner? Is this one of your new tricks? Have you cast some kind of a veil over the battlefield?
To be honest with you, I'm not sure what's going on myself. I can't see anything either.
What? Well, in that case, I suppose let's cast some spells, give some orders, and hope somebody fights somebody down there.
Sure, I suppose why not? Hello everyone and welcome back to this humble abode of gameplay and memes. Today's video is going to be about the game I haven't covered on the channel before, which is, I guess, is good. More games, more good, right? But this is a game I was paying very close attention to and am of course very excited about. Now, depending on how long you've been following this channel, you might or might not know that I am a lifelong Heroes of Might and Magic fan. So when I heard in 2024 that the new game was announced, I was, a little bit apprehensive at first, especially considering the disappointment of the previous two titles, and especially considering the way the game looked. But as I watched over its development, by which I mean just read the news, the more I saw and heard from the developers, the more I saw all the talk around the game, the more excited, and I guess cautiously excited I should say, I have become. And by this point I am extremely excited, I am absolutely giddy. And of course, as you probably know if you're still watching, Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era is getting its early access version as soon as the 30th of April this year, so in about 2 weeks from this recording. I am of course planning to be playing that, and hopefully recording that. I have been playing the demo since March, because I haven't really had the time before. And yes, the demo has made me a lot more excited because I'm really enjoying it. It feels really good. Pretty much all I've been asking for, except the Thieves Guild. Please, developers, if you're watching this somehow, add the Thieves Guild to the game. Don't remove it. There is still a button for it in the demo, just don't remove it, okay? Just make the effort and actually add the stuff. It's quite important, especially for PvP. Yesterday, again from this recording, everybody and their mother started suddenly uploading videos and live streaming as well, the early access version. Because apparently when there was an announcement by the developers a week ago about signing up for multiplayer testing, what it actually ended up being was the entirety of early access just at their fingertips. So of course they had to sign an NDA in order to, not spill the beans too early. But I guess the embargo on showing and telling has been lifted yesterday for some reason. And now everybody's just uploading and recording and everything. I obviously didn't sign up for this quote-unquote multiplayer testing because, at the time that was announced, I still didn't really have the time for multiplayer. What I could do was only like a bunch of single player, like 1 hour here, another hour there, and that's about it. So that was a bit of a rug pull for me because apparently lots of other creators have already got a massive advantage in terms of uploading content already. And I'm just sitting here, I guess, waiting for the early access, waiting for the 30th of April still. But anyway, this isn't the reason I'm uploading this video. The actual reason is that really funny bug that I encountered whilst playing the demo. So I've been playing a lot of the template that is called Hell Tide. I do quite enjoy it because I think it's a really nice compromise between like arena mode and the normal single hero mode. I have been quite enjoying it. I think it forces the player to really min-max, to really hyper-optimize, and as a result, there is going to be a lot of diverse strategies, based on the environment that the players find themselves in, based on what they can scrape together and build up. So I think that's a pretty cool format overall. So my goal in particular while playing Helltide was to try and get a subclass of a hero. Like, there are those quote-unquote prestige classes which happen when you give your hero 5 certain skills at expert level. So I was trying to do exactly that, give one of my heroes a prestige class, So far I haven't been very successful because it seems like every time I'm like super duper close to it, at least in Helltide, the last skill always turns out either wrong or I simply don't have enough time to gather them all. And as a result, it's just I'm always like one skill short. And because I have to pick a lot of crap that doesn't really synergize with my creatures and what I'm trying to do in terms of army, because that's how you get the prestige class, you know, that's what you need to do. You need to pick a lot of like random stuff, seemingly unrelated. Yes, I haven't been very successful in building up this prestige class so far. The only time I was successful was with playing Dungeon, and I started with Devere, Son of Devere, and actually managed to get Balthazar's bodyguard in time. And it looks like it's kind of like glitched, I don't know, because I assumed it like gave me the stat boost, the plus 100 attack immediately when I unlocked the subclass. But then it seemed like when the actual final battle started, my attack was boosted again for some reason, so it's like it's almost like it gives the bonus twice. I don't know, maybe I miscalculated the amount of attack that I had, but at least I'm happy to report that, you know, Balthazar's bodyguard seems to be affecting the stances as well. And I guess in general, dungeon prestige classes seem to be affecting the stances as well. So you take Minotaur stance, and with Balthazar's bodyguard, that also gets doubled. You get like, I don't know, I think you get like 16 attack instead of 8, or, you know, whatever the number is. So that's pretty cool. But the reason I'm saying all of this is why at a certain point I was playing Adan, the Necromancer, and I was trying to get Soul Weaver because, you know, Soul Weaver makes the most sense on Adan. Soul Weaver causes you to summon stacks of whites in place of the enemies that are slain. And of course, it makes the most sense on Adan because he increases the speed and initiative of those whites, so they might actually get to do anything or something before dying. So there I was, playing Adan, trying and failing to get this prestige class. Yes, I failed again, but still there was something quite exciting when the final battle started, because at that point I realized that I couldn't see anything. During the tactics phase, there were no creatures on my side, and of course I couldn't see the enemy creatures, but more concerningly, they were none on my side. At first I thought maybe the enemy had a tactical guide, you know, that item that prevents one's opponent from rearranging the creatures before battle. I thought maybe that was it, because, you know, maybe maybe the tactical guide, that's how it works, because I haven't been on the receiving end of it yet. But then I clicked start battle and realized I still can't see anything. Not myself, not my army, not the opposing army, nothing. So there I was, just clicking around, trying to attack something that I couldn't see, getting attacked by things that I couldn't see. The only thing that I was able to see is, of course, the initiative bar at the top, or the ATB bar, I think it's called, was still there. So I could see the turn order, I could see who was moving, but couldn't be sure where exactly or how, or what exactly they were doing. Of course, I couldn't see the positioning of the enemies, but at least, you know, I could still target them. Like, if you hover the mouse over where they are supposed to be, then you can actually target them and attack them. So that's pretty cool. So it was basically a battle fought completely in the dark, with me being completely unable to see what I was doing and how. I did, you know, cast some spells. I even cast Armageddon a couple times because I figured out at least that way I could hit everybody, because the enemy didn't seem to have like any sort of magic immunion. So I just went, you know, blew them up with Armageddon a couple times, and I was lucky enough to have, I guess, more HP than the opponent's army. So at the end of the day I still managed to win, but it was quite ridiculous and quite funny. As a bit of a sidebar, as I was playing this, I kind of realized why, you know, Necropolis in Heroes of Might and Magic 3 had such a high chance for finding Armageddon in their mage guild. It's because, yeah, thanks to Necromancy, you can gain such a huge stack of skeletons that will have like thousands of HP potentially. And, you know, when you nuke everything with Armageddon, you know, this big stack of skeletons is much more likely to survive than whatever the opponent has. So, of course, you know, Armageddon for Necropolis might not work nearly as well as it does for Inferno or Dungeon, but it can still very much work just because of that. But yeah, so this is the reason I was going to upload this video. If the developers are going to see it, well, I hope they do. because that's going to be really funny. And I hope when the early access is out, this glitch does get fixed, because imagine having this in like a multiplayer final battle. I think that would be completely devastating, and I think this is a reason for just, you know, to like restart the whole thing, or at least reload the previous day, because this is just, yeah, this is just completely ridiculous. But it did give me a good laugh. Thank you all so much for watching, I greatly appreciate it. I would love to hear your thoughts, or read your thoughts rather, in the comments about the upcoming Heroes of Might and Magic game, Olden Era. I hope you're as excited about it as I am. Goodbye, and have a wonderful rest of your day.